The punishing sanctions that the U.S. and our allies are imposing on Russia. And to help us unpack this issue, I want to bring in one of the key players behind those sanctions. His name is Daleep Singh. He's Deputy National Security Advisor for International Economics right there at the White House. Mr. Singh, thank you for being here. I know you said that last month that sanctions would be tailored to avoid even the appearance of targeting the average Russian civilian. We, of course, see a lot of these are targeting Russian oligarchs, billionaires. How would you say the administration has accomplished that so far? Are Russian civilians being pretty badly hurt at this point by these sanctions?
Yeah, hi, Trevor. Good evening. You know, this is Putin's tragic war. These are Putin's sanctions, and these are Putin's costs that he's imposing on the Russian people for his choices. And so what we're seeing now is the economy in Russia is in free fall. The economy is likely set for a deep economic recession, maybe more than 10% a year. Inflation is spiking. His war chest of foreign reserves is now worthless. The ruble is worth less than a penny. His stock market hasn't opened all week, Trevor, and rating agencies are downgrading the country to junk status. But all of these consequences are the result of Putin's choices and Putin's choices alone. We have tried to target these sanctions towards the commanding heights of the economy, in the financial sector, in the industrial sector. Of course, there are consequences beyond that. But again, this is a tragedy that Putin has chosen. It's our job to make that an historic failure.
There's a saying in psychology that you can't rationalize a person out of behaving irrationally. Is there any concern that these sanctions, as effective as they may be in crippling Russia's economy, might force Vladimir Putin into a corner and he might lash out some more?
Look, I can't get into his mindset, Trevor, but what I do know is that if dictators don't pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos. And the costs and the threats to America and the world keep rising. Those are the president's words from the State of the Union. So we feel like this is a moment to demonstrate resolve. All I can tell you about President Putin is what he said. He said Ukraine is not a real country. He said the greatest tragedy of the 20th century was the breakup of the Soviet Union. You know, think about that. That's a very flawed and dangerous mindset. We have to confront it.
I do think a lot of people are in support of these sanctions and certainly saying that there needs to be consequences for Russia. This is an increasingly global economy. Russia's economy is the 11th largest in the world. If it continues to collapse, what kind of impact can we expect here on the U.S. economy or on the global markets?
Yeah, so first of all, Trevor, let me just say the Russian economy is set for a free fall. It may be the 11th largest economy now, but if this aggression continues, and the currency continues to plummet, Putin is looking at an economy roughly half the size, with the living standards for his people falling precipitously. In terms of the impact to the U.S., you know, the economic linkages through trade are relatively modest. Russia is our 26th largest trading partner. The financial linkages are also modest. It's an energy where Russia does have relevance to the global economy. And here, I would say this, we don't have an interest in reducing the global supply of energy. That would raise prices for Americans at the pump, and that would pad Putin's profits. But we are looking at ways of reducing our consumption of Russian energy while keeping steady or even increasing the global supply of energy. And you'll hear more about that from us into next week.
We know the U.S. is also sanctioning the oligarchs that are pretty close to Putin. Can you give us any insight, any evidence that that might have some kind of effect that we're hoping to achieve? And also, are you concerned that they might try to evade some of these sanctions with cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, so these are a group of individuals, Trevor, that have profited from Russia's kleptocracy, and now our theory is they must share in the pain of these sanctions. So we launched a klepto capture task force. It's a multilateral effort with the UK and Europe and the G7. The purpose is to identify, hunt down, and seize the physical assets of these kleptocrats, their yachts, their fancy cars, their private jets, their apartments. That's going to have a chilling effect on the group of people that's closest to Putin. And that's why we're taking aim at these individuals, because we want to concentrate the impact to those most responsible for the brutal aggression in Ukraine. And we're not seeking to target the average Russian civilians. And look, the people in Russia should see for themselves how Putin has ripped them off for so many years. and that they've gotten a raw deal. That's what this task force will show to the world.
You touched a little bit about global energy. A bipartisan group of senators, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, have called on the U.S. to ban the import of Russian oil. The White House is concerned about raising prices at the pump. We already knew that with gas prices, and a new poll found 69% of Americans say they support the sanctions on Russia, even if it does mean higher energy prices. But why wouldn't President Biden support a ban?
Well, let me step back for a second, Trevor. No one should doubt whether we've had a debilitating impact on Russia's economy. As I mentioned, the economy's in free fall, inflation is spiking, the stock market's been closed all week, the currency is worth less than a penny. But we are looking at ways to downgrade Russia's status as a leading supplier of energy. That's why we shut down his prized Nord Stream 2 pipeline. That's why we've cut off technology that he needs to sustain energy production. And that's why we're helping Europe with liquefied natural gas. We're surging supplies from all over the world to accelerate their diversification away from Russia. And yes, we are looking at ways to cut U.S. consumption of Russian energy. But again, that's in the context of maintaining or increasing the global supply of energy. We don't want Americans to pay higher prices at the pump. We don't want to have Putin pad his profits. So we can do both of those things at once.
Daleep Singh joining us from the White House, the Deputy National Security Advisor for International Economics. We know you've been busy. We appreciate your time tonight.
Thanks, Trevor.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.